Good morning, Facebook. It's your girl, Constance Carter. How are you? You see my title? When it's time to go, get to steppin'. When it's time to go, you need to get to steppin'. Um, and all I really mean, and I just mean that when it's time, when God says it's time to go, you should go. Um, and so I was thinking this morning. So a memory came up on my Facebook, and I posted it this morning. And it was basically when we first started Catalyst Real Estate. And I know many of you don't know the story behind Catalyst Real Estate. Some of my agents do, most of them do, but some of them don't. Um, and so I wanted to share it with you. I wanted to kind of just share my journey because 9 years ago in July, 9 years ago in July, Catalyst Real Estate Professionals opened its doors. And I've been in real estate since 2002. Got my broker's license in 2006 with no intention of opening my own office. It was just something for me to have. And so I got it, and then I became a very successful agent, started doing a lot of transactions, a lot of foreclosure transactions and things like that. And in 2009, God had nudged me and said it was time for me to open up an agency that was different. And I always done business differently. I've always done business, say, transformational and not transactional, meaning most real estate companies, and I was at some large ones. I was at some of the brand name. I thought that's where we had to be. You know, when you're starting off your business, I thought people only wanted to go with agents who were with these big box brand name companies. And what I learned very quickly is that people came to me because of me, not because of who I was with. But the way those companies do business is all about the transaction. How many people can you call? How many appointments can you make? And how many sales can you close? And it's a numbers game. And so I've always from the beginning, from day one, I always did real estate differently. I mean, the first email that I sent out to my friends is I just want to help people. And it was really about being transformational and not transactional. And so in 2009, God nudged me and said, it's time, Nisi, for you to open up an agency that is transformational and not transactional. And I got scared, y'all. I got scared, and I was out looking for space. And somehow the CEO of the company that I was working for had found out that I was looking for space and that I was leaving. Now, I was one of the top agents, 300 or 400 agents, and I was in the top 5 agents in the entire company because of the volume of the transactions that I had done. So, of course, you know, he didn't want to leave. I mean, he didn't want to lose me as an agent. So he said, well, what do you want? What do you want, Constance? What do you want? And I said, you know, I really want a small boutique office that I can grow organically. And he said, I can make it happen for you. Where you want to be? And I said, well, I want to be over here in Trinity Parkway in Stockton. He said, I can make it happen. And so I started asking some more seasoned people who had been out, who were brokers already. And they told me that I should stay. And I started asking people who were close to me in my life, who were seasoned people, and they told me that I should play it safe and stay. And so what did I do? I played it safe and I stayed. And it was a very interesting experience. I thought, okay, I'll learn from, you know, this experience, and this is a very smart businessman. And I'll even though God had told me to do something else, God had told me to go ahead and start this company. I went ahead and listened to other people telling me to play it safe, and I did not have enough confidence in myself to do what God had told me to do. So I went ahead and did it. And it was a very interesting experience, to say the least. I was the only Black female manager amongst about 10 other managers. And it was very interesting. Sometimes they would forget I was in the room. I'm 30 something. Everybody was much older than me, and much maler than me, and much whiter than me. And I was born and raised in San Jose in the Silicon Valley, and I've always worked at companies who celebrated diversity. That was huge at HP and at Cisco Systems. They celebrated the difference in people. And I believe that's what we should do. And they just were not used to working with somebody that looked like me. They weren't. And so sometimes they would forget I was in the room. And I was privy to some conversations that, whatever. So, you know, after doing that for a year, I went ahead and finally did what God had prompted in my heart to do from the very beginning. Now, with that, I wasted a year of my time because I know God said it in 2009, but I didn't do it until 2010. And so I appreciate God for still blessing my company, even though I was not obedient when he told me to do it, when he told me to do it, even though I was not obedient, I still appreciate God blessing me. And so when we opened up our doors on July 1st, 2010, which was 9 years ago this month, well, before that, so, I had talked to the broker and I said, you know what, listen, it's time for me to go. He knew I had, my heart wasn't in it. And if my heart's not in it, then, you can forget about it. And so Glenda and I started looking for office space, and Glenda, I thank God for Glenda. She's been with me. She's been my ride or die for 12, 13 years. But we were looking for office space. And we came upon a space that had like 5 private offices. And she said, Constance, you need to get this. Now, I had already talked to my agents and I told them, listen, I'm about to go out on my own. I've already talked to the broker. They're going to have a nice office for you at the other location. Be well, be free, do your thing. I didn't want to take any of his agents, but more importantly, I wanted to start an organic growth. I wanted to start very small and just work my way up. I believe I never wanted, and I don't know if you seen my quote earlier, I never wanted a meteoric rise because I believe that it causes an unstable foundation. So I always wanted to grow organically, like a small boutique office, and then grow it. And so I was looking, and it was just going to be me and Glenda. It was just going to be us two. And Glenda said, you need to, Constance, you need to think bigger than what you're thinking. And I was like, for what? It's just me and you, Glenda. And she said, Constance, the other ladies want to go with you. We had 12 ladies. She said, the other ladies want to go with you. And I was like, me? Why? Why me? I'm just Constance Carter. I'm not this big company. And she said, trust me. They already told me. Now, when I sat down and had I had one-on-ones with all the agents, and some of them were crying. They didn't have the reaction that I wanted. I thought I didn't think that they would be so hurt, but I didn't realize how much they loved me. And so they ended up coming with me. All but 2. 10 of them ended up coming with me. And it was a very, day one, July 1st, 2010, Catalyst opened our doors. And it was an amazing sight to see. We're 10 group of diverse women from all backgrounds, Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, from all, and it was funny because the company that I'd come from, the only person that they were trying to get back, because they were calling this one person, it was the Caucasian one. They only called her back, said, hey, we love Constance, but, does she even have E&O insurance? Does she even have phones? Does she even have, and what they didn't know was that Constance Carter had been building her foundation before Constance Carter opened her doors. So the day Constance Carter opened her doors, better believe we had offices, we had phones, we had internet, we had desks. Now, I ain't spent a whole lot of money. Everything was hand-me-down. I had gotten from another office that had liquidated their stuff, but it was an office, and it was a beautiful office nonetheless. And so I said all this to say that when God tells you to go, no matter what. Even, for the people who work for me, like if God told you that, that your time, your season at Catalyst is over, then I absolutely support wherever you need to go if it's going to make you better. And when God puts something on the inside of you to do what your heart's desire, then you need to be obedient to that. And so don't ever let other people's fears stop you from doing what it is you're supposed to do. I had shared with somebody who, somebody that was in my family. I said, hey, you know what? There was another guy that went, who opened up his office, and he opened up his office when I was supposed to. He was a broker also. And I had talked to him and I said, hey, how was it opening up your office? And he said, oh, it's absolutely awesome. I'm so glad I did it. I wish I would have done it sooner. And I was like, dang it. I should have just did it when I was supposed to do it, when God told me to do it. And I shared that with somebody and they told me, well, you're not going to be as successful as him because you're Black and you're a woman and he's white and he's a man. And it wasn't that they didn't believe in me or they didn't think that I was able to do it. It was that they were projecting their own fears and insecurities on me. And what he didn't understand and what he didn't know was that I'm a different breed. And so we came out guns blazing. This small office of multicultural women came out guns blazing. Within the first year, we were within the top 5 or top 10 companies in the city of Stockton. And then today, Catalyst Real Estate Professionals is the largest African American owned real estate firm in California, not just in Northern California, in California. And we're not African American only, we're African American owned. What that means is we have somebody, we are a reflection of the community. And we celebrate everybody. Like I said, I've come from Fortune 500 companies that celebrate diversity. I believe in celebrating diversity. I believe in being a reflection of the community. I believe in reaching everyone. I believe that I know for sure that the wealth gap is primarily due to people not owning real estate. And one of the ways that we can close a wealth gap amongst the races is by having a reflection, a true reflection of the community within our agency being transformational and not transactional agents. That's who Catalyst is. And that's why we're growing. And, a friend of mine said to me, because I always wanted to be the person who wanted to make an impact on my agents. I don't want to just have thousands of agents or hundreds of agents if I can't help them be the best that they can be. I don't want just bodies. I want to be able to impart on you ways so that you can make money. Look at Katrina Carter. If you've seen a post that I posted about her this morning, she made 6 figures in 6 months. And when Katrina came, she was just getting back into the real estate business. And like I said, there was a lot of breakthroughs and yokes being broken and just things that she had to push past. And look at her today, 6 figures in 6 months. And these are the things that we encourage. So inside my office, Kathy Jackson came from Groupie. She worked at PMZ. She worked at Keller Williams and was a top producing agent at all of those companies. But at Catalyst, she makes 3 times the amount that she made at all those companies. Why? Because I created a company that allowed us to be transformational. She's doing things here that she had never, ever done before, not just because she's doing loans, but she's helping change people's lives. And it's a different approach when you're changing people's lives, when you come from being transactional to transformational. She's getting testimonials of people that are saying, oh my God, Kathy, thank you for taking me through the journey. Thank you for helping me get my credit up. Thank you for helping me to get a better interest rate on my loan. This is the type of transformation that we're talking about, not just externally, not just on the outside, but on the inside of what we're doing here at Catalyst. Excuse me. And I'm so thankful that God has blessed me with that. And so being the largest African-American owned real estate firm in California and growing, this is what I was going to say. My friend, he owns the largest African-American owned Keller Williams. He has 589 agents. And he told me one day, he said, I said, I don't want to have a large agent and a large company. And he said, well, why not? And I said, well, I just don't want to. I want to keep my company small. And because I want to make an impact on the people who work here. I don't want to just have a bunch of people working here. And so now I've come to a place where I'm okay with the growth as long as we keep our culture in such a way, which we figured out a way to do, to where everyone is still being impacted. Everyone is still able to grow. Everybody's able to get the mentorship and the training that they need. And so I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that I'm in this situation. I'm grateful that God has taken us through, the ups and the downs, the bumps and the bruises. God, I wouldn't say this was a God thing, but our building, being taken away from us was absolutely a bump in the road. But God, I'm waiting to see what's going to happen on the other side, because when we get back over there, you guys are going to see a whole lot of different type of stuff happening. And not only, if you think that we're doing it now, just wait till you see what's coming down the pipeline. We're already approved to do loans in several states. So we're already getting ready to make an impact in some other states. We have our broker's license in the state of Georgia. Guess what? Catalyst is coming to Georgia. So we're working. We are working, but more importantly, we're working so that we can make an impact on our community and that we can just be a catalyst for change. Someone told me last year that my name, Constance, they Googled it. It means a firm of purpose. And Catalyst Real Estate Professional is definitely a firm of purpose. And that's what we're here for. We're here just to make an impact. So thank you guys for listening. I see some comments, but they're not coming up. But let's see. Here they are right here. Good morning, Katrina, Colleen, Josephs. Hi, Joseph. You need a plumber? Call me. I need a plumber. Actually, I need an HVAC person. Hey, Constance, Ken tapping in. Amen. Hallelujah. Yep, I saw Katrina Carter listing of Edward Avenue in Oakland. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you and just share my journey. It hasn't always been a great, great filling journey. I've lost some people who are special to me. I've cleaned house and some stuff, some people. I have gained some great agents. And it's very rare that when someone leaves here that they'll leave with a bridge that's burned. And so my thing is, wherever you go, I want the best for you. So just make sure that you are operating and you are walking in the way that God wants you to walk. And if you are doing what God has called you to do, if God tells you to go, then you need to get to stepping, because you don't ever want to be stuck in a space of being comfortable. I know I've been there. And the only way that you can make an impact on anybody's life, because that's what it's about, is if you step out on faith. And I'm a strong believer in stepping out on faith. We wouldn't have been able to do what we did if we hadn't stepped out on faith. Glenda nudging me to think bigger. Thank you, Glenda. All the great people that we have working in our firm. Thank you, because we are truly a firm of purpose. And the only reason that we are able to make the impact that we are making is because of the people who are working for Catalyst. It's not about Constance Carter. It is truly about the agents, the change agents that work here as well. So take care and God bless. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.